Hello there, welcome to Cookin in the Kitchen. Very special edition we got this week. We're over in New Jersey, believe it or not, and we're in the kitchen of Gary Reid. Hello Gary, how are you doing?
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm loving this finger picking.
I'm a finger picker.
You're a finger picker? Sounding good. There we go. Well listen, thanks for inviting us into your kitchen.
Pleasure to have you.
It's been great for us to come over here, and nice to meet you in reality. We've connected on the internet, and now we've actually managed to come together face to face and have a coffee and a little bit of breakfast this morning. So I'd like to speak to Gary a bit about his life, about his music, and how he got into songwriting. I've listened to a lot of his songs, and I think they're fantastic, actually, Gary. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about Gary Reid?
Sure. I came from a musical family. And my dad was a singer, and he sang on Broadway and movies, and he's probably best known for The Music Man on Broadway. And as a small child, he sang in a barbershop quartet.
Right.
They were in the quartet in The Music Man. And from a small kid, they would be over the house a couple of times a week singing harmonies. So I was very exposed to harmony at an early age. And when I started playing guitar, I was, instead of just strumming in single notes, I heard parts.
Oh, wow.
And so that it kind of evolved into a fingerstyle playing that I do.
Yeah, no, that's your passion, finger style. I've heard you play a few times, and it's very prominent. That's your thing. Right.
That's somehow, it's just how I hear it.
Yeah.
And I play what I hear.
Good. And your songwriting, how do you go about doing your songwriting?
Well, I don't have any specific way, but typically, though, it'll start off with a chord change or a kind of a groove that playing on the guitar, and a melody will come, and then start fishing for words, or I have some idea, some feeling or thought that I have, and just work with it and refine it and take it from there.
I've noticed driving around this area, it's very picturesque. I mean, you must draw a lot from that, I would have thought. It's a beautiful place we are in here.
Yes.
Whereabouts are we exactly? We're in New Jersey. But
as we sit, we are in a town called Pattonburg, but we are in Hunterdon County, New Jersey.
All right.
And it's, most people think of New Jersey, they think of the Turnpike. You know, people say, what exit do you live on?
All right.
And they think of Newark and Elizabeth and the industrial part. But we're like in Vermont here.
It's beautiful. It's the most beautiful place I've seen, I'll tell you. Certainly on this trip, it's been fantastic.
And this time of year is the best. September, October is wonderful. We have mild temperatures, low humidity.
Sure.
So.
Well, anyway, can we hear one of your songs?
Sure.
Give us a bit of history about it.
Yes, this first one I'm going to do is called This Ain't No Heart. And it's kind of a country ballad. And
we love a bit of country music.
Yes. And it's about a fellow who's been around a lot.
Right.
And meets a woman, a real sweetheart. And they're very attracted to each other. And but he's having second thoughts because he knows he's not this great guy.
He's not
Here's
a good
this
guy.
real sweet woman.
Oh,
so
dear.
This is called This Ain't No Heart for a Woman of Your Kind. I could paint a picture, tell you a story of how the moon rises in the midnight sky. And I can make you feel like the only woman who makes me a man who could make me cry. But I've been around so many times I can't remember. Left broken hearts far behind. behind. So this ain't no heart for a woman of your kind. Just because I look like a man who knows how to treat you, or because this feels so right. And I can tell by the way you're looking at me, you give me your soul tonight. But this ain't no heart for a woman of your kind. No, this ain't no heart for a woman of your kind. I've had my share of troubles, and more than my share of wine. And I've known and had many women, and loved some from time to time. So this ain't no heart for a woman of your kind. So sweet, and I know that I could love you and make promises I can't keep. And you believe me if I told you that I loved you and that I'm everything you need. But this ain't no heart for a woman of your kind. No, this ain't no heart for a woman of your kind. Of your kind.
Gets me, that song, like, brilliant. Absolutely love it. How did that come about? I mean, a bit of history there, or?
Yeah, there's a story there.
There's a story there, always is, isn't
Yes.
there?
Yeah, there's a real story there.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it, I mean, it isn't literal.
Sure.
It's a feeling.
Yeah.
And from there, created the story.
Yeah. See, I've heard that record, because you obviously sent me some albums a while ago. Mm-hmm. And I've got to say, I've played your stuff in the car quite regular. And I'd never quite heard that song that way until I heard you play the other night in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad you did it. Thanks.
Well, thank you. Yes, playing solo and the phrasing is different from in a studio where you got a drummer and,
sure.
and you're fixed in time. And
I quite like the rawness with music. Singer-songwriters, you get the root of what it's about.
Right.
You know, you start putting a lot of stuff on there and maybe you miss the point a little bit, but...
That's something I struggle with. Go in the studio, and a lot of times the engineers want to use, and producers want to use click tracks, and I struggle with that because when I feel a song and do the phrasing, it isn't to the clock.
No, it's got to move. It's got to have that.
But if they want to overdub and do things like that, then it's hard to follow.
Makes it rigid. Anyway.
Yeah,
that's excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you.
So, moving on a bit more into your life, just seen there's a train gone past, although we didn't catch it on the video, like, but Gary lives with a bit of land around here, and there's a train goes past, and sometimes it takes 15 minutes to get past the house, so.
Right, we're about 50 minutes from the New York Harbor and Newark Harbor,
All right.
and which is a major shipping route. So these are freight trains. These aren't people trains.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, I love it, the sound of the train and to see all the industrial products, you know, moving back.
Some good rhythms there, I suppose you could maybe
Yes.
even draw off that a little bit.
Right.